hello, hello. Welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV. Still in the same dungeon instance. I knew it was going to cut pretty soon when I was reading through, and that's why I was reading through that so fast. I didn't leave the dungeon, though, and I wanted to start the next recording here because, well, you can see the Amarat cityscape, even though it's kind of like in a dream daze still. But what's interesting is, according to, you know, the stuff we just read down in the Uniter, you know, it would seem this place was predating Zodiark's creation, but then there's statues of Zodiark, and I guess we could attribute that to Emmett Selk having, you know, recreated the city and being, you know, post Zodiark creation and all that. But I guess we could also say that this this instance of the dungeon or whatever, and those writings are old writings. And such. But also there's this like abstract sculpture right here, and someone was saying on the official forum that the way that it's spiraling like that, like the semicircles, concentric circles or whatever, that's like the symbol on the Charlian flag or something like that. And they found it of incredible interest. And you know how I was saying earlier that like the fields of study sort of line up with the St. Mosian's Arboretum. So it's and there's also some dialogue with in those side quests we did about their city sister across the sea or whatever that's having problems and all that. And well, it's theorized that Charlian has some sort of ties to Amarat somehow. We didn't get any commendations. Woo-hoo. Of course, they didn't even stick around long enough for me to give them comms, so kind of whatever. Yeah, sorta. The scholars had turned into monsters, I guess? One of them did. Shape changing is a temporary effect at best. Creation, on the other hand, converts one's life energies into ether, which is then expended to bring a well-constructed concept into solid reality. By combining the ether of many individuals, we can theoretically create entities of ever greater complexity and grandeur, the methodology of which is the focus of our current experiments. Oh, you get to... That's interesting. Escaped? I should think not. The Academia Uniter boasts the most secure facilities and research protocols of any institution on the star. But they were scheduled to conduct research on those samples we captured from across the sea. Is it possible they were even more potent than we anticipated? Yet, even if such were the case, one cannot dismiss the resourcefulness of our scholars, not to mention the presence of the esteemed La Habrea. Yes, I am certain they will soon have the situation well in hand. You needn't worry your young mind about such things. Do not be discouraged. 'Tis a pity your inquiries were disrupted this time, but there will be other opportunities to visit. Oh my, yes. There are few who can match his knowledge and expertise in the field of phantom creation. You passed through the words of La Habrea, did you not? I imagine you found the research material there to be of particular interest, considering the purpose of your visit. Were there aught else that piqued your curiosity? Nope. No, nothing. Well, as long as your thirst for knowledge has been slaked, then we should consider your visitation time well spent. As for the creature you suspect has broken free, rest assured that our officials will be taking up the thread of your investigation. You are certain it was not within the Academia grounds? If by some miracle Archaeotania has gained its freedom, then what has become of the researchers tasked to contain it? Oh, idle musings, nothing more. Was there not an acquaintance awaiting news of your progress? Best not keep them in the dark. It's funny, it says Mystery Beast, but you can actually encounter it. It's a world fate that happens in the Tempest. I don't know if it was added in on the verge of 5.0 or not. I've only fought it once. And it's a Final Fantasy V reference to the boss Twintania in Final Fantasy V that you fight right before you actually enter the Void from the interdimensional rift. But I think now we gotta go back to Yulmore to report. Yeah, so we just warp over to Yulmore real quick. But what's interesting about the Archaeotania is that, according to the Academia Uniter, it's from across the sea in ancient times. And yet it exists again, which means that M itself recreated it to just to match the exact happenings of what had occurred in Amarat. Because this shows that basically Amarat did try to help their neighbors across the sea, and they took one of the beasts that got created accidentally to try to study it, and it wound up causing all of their other creations to go insane, you know, and likely caused a domino effect that spiraled into what we witnessed in the Amarat dungeon. So that's actually kind of cool. Definitely a side dungeon worth doing. Like all world fates, you get an achievement if you kill it, and you can get some minions and a frog costume and stuff. So that's all cool. But that's literally all of the side dungeons for Shadowbringers. We will never encounter any more side dungeons. They're all going to be main story related. As such, we have to plow the main story now. It's basically main story or near raid, and the near raid is so far removed from the main story that we might as well just do the entire main story now. Although I might, depending on where you know, this next recording like cuts, I might go ahead and do the near raid just to show it off and to get Clyde some better gear. Because even for the majority of his left side gear, and that's all the 24 minutes drop, they don't drop any belts, but even the first raid has I-460 gear, which would be a big upgrade for Clyde. And Clyde's going to need a little bit more item level enhancement in order to queue into the not the next story dungeon, but the one after that, the most current story dungeon, as well as the most current story trial. So that's all stuff that is necessary. So we interrupted this cutscene last time, but it looked like we were going to go in and talk to Raubon. So here we go, and this time it won't be interrupted. Unless, of course, I 90k or my girlfriend sneaks up and assassinates me. But she's actually occupied Minecrafting with the Minecraft. Quite shocked.
And I, for one, am grateful that they are. Told you've been busy since our paths last crossed at the Gimlet Dark. Not that I understand half of it. When the Scions spoke of other worlds, I struggled to describe what I pictured. Mayhap things would seem clearer were I to hear the tale from your own lips. But I'm afraid the situation will not afford us that luxury. I trust you two require no introduction.
We meet again, hero of Eorzea. Must we repeat this ridiculous display? I pose no threat to you, though what I come to warn you of very well might.
Had he meant to do us harm, I hazard he would have kept to the shadows, and brought more than 2 companions. We need not pretend to be the best of friends, but I hope we can put aside our differences for the present.
As you are doubtless aware, Sir Estinian and I cooperated to rid the world of Black Rose in your absence. Our journey together took us as far as the Imperial Palace, where we witnessed Emperor Varus meet his death at Xenos' hand. Being the sole witnesses to this crime, and in no position to defend our innocence, we were then forced to flee, each pursuing his own avenue of escape. When we were later reunited, Estinian claimed to have encountered an unfamiliar kind of machina during his flight, but to me his description seemed anything but, and upon further investigation I found that I was right. The Empire is developing a new Ultima weapon.
Dun, dun, dun.
What's that Allagan monstrosity, created to vanquish primals, with which you yourself once thought to conquer Eorzea?
The same. In my foolishness, I sought to harness its power, and became the Ascian's pawn in so doing.
It was a different time. I even had a different voice actor, and voice modulation.
But you know as well as I how that tale ended.
I sure do. I kicked your ass.
The weapon itself, excavated from beneath this very city, was destroyed ere we could fully unravel its secrets, and that should have been the end of it. But unlikely as it sounds, the Empire's efforts to recreate it have somehow borne fruit, primarily through secret research conducted by the 7th Imperial Legion, it would seem.
Wait, the 7th was all but annihilated at Cartano, along with its legatus.
Indeed, few survived. The 7th, as it is now, has little in common with the Legion led by Vandanus, and its leadership has changed hands several times since. Precisely how this project has continued despite such turmoil, and under whose auspices, remains a mystery. What we do know, however, is that a number of prototypes have been produced, and that one of them is on its way to Eorzea. We attempted to stop it, but it was all we could do to slow its progress, so we resolved instead to bring you warning.
And right glad are we that you did, though it soundly dashed our hopes that tensions might ease at last.
As it is, we've begun to strengthen our presence in the Gimlet Dark, and are assembling a force to meet the coming threat. A force with you in its vanguard, I hope. Before you say anything, I know full well you have pressing concerns of your own. Your comrades remain in peril, and I would not ask you to forsake them. But the fact remains that you, and you alone, have faced the Ultima weapon, and emerged victorious. We need you. And so, when the time comes, if your comrades can spare you, I bid you lend us your strength. I've assigned an officer to await your word.
The Ascian's downfall was to be the work of my remaining days, but it was my hand that kindled these flames, and I cannot allow them to spread any further. I will do what I must to see this mistake consigned to history once and for all, even if it means begging your aid. The Fates will enjoy the irony, even as I endure the ignominy.
There's that word again. And they had someone say it out loud this time. And it just means shame.
I too shall make for the border and offer my skills, meager though they seem in such company. Mayhap we shall meet there anon.
Though we can ill afford to ignore the coming of a new Ultima weapon, our friend's plight grows ever more precarious, and none save you can join them in the first. I only hope you are not forced to make a choice.
Well, of course I won't be. What do you think this is? A game with actual consequences? Okay, well, let's actually go do the side quest. Ruby Doomsday. Now, it's kind of funny to me, like, they want us to think that, like, we need to go back to the first because we need to help them out right now. But, like, when we go there, they still haven't made any progress. And they're just like, well, it's all up to the Exarch and beg Luke still. And we just sort of, like, start investigating more stuff and, like, twiddling our thumbs. And so it's really not, as the way they try to make it seem. And it's kind of funny to me, like, paying attention now, like, this time around, when we were back in the Rising Stones, Maximo burst through the door and it's like, emergency, emergency, or whatever, and Kryl and Tataru were like, whenever you go back to the first, make sure to tell our friends that we are keeping them in good shape, and, Matoya's wards are working and stuff, and it's like, like, prognosis seems good. And then, like, we go to do this, and Kryl's suddenly like, oh no, time is of the essence. It's like, I think I'll save Alamigo. The Scions would want that anyway. They would want you to save more people than them. Right? They believe in the greater good and whatnot. Val Doolin, huh? We finally get to see their names, huh? Yeah, you told us this before. Oh, but you got the name of the weapon now, the ruby weapon. Oh my, enhanced armor plating, huh? Oh, and it may have absorbed an icon or two. Okay. Whip-like claws, huh? Well, of course, this is a Final Fantasy VII reference. Hence why we're facing the 7th Legion again. Gaius is injured, so he can't help us. Alright, Mr. Duskwhite. I find it interesting how like repentant Gaius feels. Maybe it's because he really feels a lot of shame because of being used by the Ascians. He doesn't like that. He thought he was, laboring, his beliefs were laboring under his own goals. Several hours ago in the Garlean-occupied city of Werlet's Magitech installation. What an oddly specific area. Hey, they're playing Rise of the White Raven. Look at those teeth. Ooh, it's got a lady pilot. It's not showing her face though. Codename Darnus, huh? They kind of mix in a whole, like, Gundam, Ava sort of thing. Cinder Drift, huh? Well, let's see if we get a Q in. It's a trial. Though the original Ultima weapon, piloted by Gaius Balesar, was destroyed in the decisive battle of the... Oh, whoops. I did not want a Q for that. I wanted a Q. I forgot to, let's go back to reading. Though the original Ultima weapon, piloted by Gaius Balesar, was destroyed in the decisive battle at the Praetorium, Garlemald has been secretly developing its successor. Now this diabolical melding of Allagan and Garlean technologies has been deployed to annihilate those who would oppose the Empire. At the behest of none other than Gaius Balesar himself, we crossed the scorched battlefield of the Gimlet Dark to halt this crimson menace before it lays waste to Eorzea. It's playing Scala's music. Oh, sweet. Okay. Come on, Q. Come on, Healing. Come on, Healing. You can do it. You can press confirm. Woo! Yeah. One less Q that we gotta worry about. This actually came out back in February. Mid-February. We're ever closer to doing content that is current. Mark III Anti-Icon War Machina, the Ruby Weapon. Now, whatever they're singing in Latin or whatever it is, people have kind of misheard lyrics. All I hear now is big fat tacos. So, kind of a oh look, we got Final Fantasy VII text box. About that. Optimized Ultima. Oh, it's green like Ultima and Final Fantasy VII. Although Ultima was actually sort of greenish blue in Final Fantasy II. It was the first Final Fantasy that was never released in Raven's Claw. Oh. Yeah, if you're standing on anything but the claw burrows, then you'll sink in the sand and die. I wasted blood. Commanding voice, huh? Is it a woman's voice or a man's voice? It just says commanding. I just want to know if it's trying to dom me, okay? I was gonna do the opposite version of Raven's Claw. The inner cardinal become the place. And then I think it's gonna do undermine. Instead of standing on the claws, get away from it. Well, we broke the ruby weapon. Now, clearly it's not unstoppable, commanding voice. Activating Oversoul. Phase 2. Increasing pilot override rate to 100%. Commencing forced shutdown and system restart. Synthetic Auracite switching to Oversoul mode. Loading data sample. Darkness combat data ready. Initiating organic core override. Those are like Bahamut wings. Nail. Uh-oh. So catching a nail through Darkness clone? Nail Van Darkness. Got a goo girl. Negative persona, huh? Ruby Claw, huh? I guess the movie weapon is capable of like holograms. Like hologramming the Battle of Carcinel all around us. And like mostly destroyed Calamity, like Muda, even. Meteor Stream is physical, so my dark missionary gets done. She doesn't have any tank busters. This is all like party damage at this point. She has auto attacks, I think, but they don't do much. You also get a checkpoint this phase starting in case you fail. Even in the extreme mode version of this fight, so that makes the extreme mode version pretty easy peasy. If you don't catch these meteors, they do a whole bunch of damage, but they also, in extreme, it's like the comet tattoo's broken. The gunbreaker was lazy. Stayed on the boss the whole time. I don't mind if they tank this phase though, because there's not really any tanking going on. Well, at least once the nail ads are dead. Well, so much for your rebirth, Nail. Wonder what happened to the pilot. That one took around for me to give them times. That's okay though. Next model will be nigh unstoppable, huh? Enlisted the help of who? Got a rain girl and she's wearing red. Were you the pilot? You've got similar arm gauntlets, but... Nah, we saw the pilot. The pilot wasn't wearing, like, a cloak. They're all rains, huh? Father? Echo Vision Tower. Clyde straight up just impaled his forehead with his gauntlet claws. All died in the epidemic, huh? Melissandia, huh? What is this, an anime? What is this, Attack on Titan? Yeah, more or less. They've all got books on their hips, so they're all scholars of sort. It was Melissandia. Looks like Gaius has surrogate children that are working towards humanizing him as part of his redemption arc. Which apparently like half of the Final Fantasy XIV player base is not okay with. They're like, I don't care if Gaius had children, that's just creepy. And it doesn't change the fact that he's a war criminal, stuff like that. It's like, okay, you armchair sophist. Don't need to get your panties in a knot. Hey, it's Cid. Even more Cid. Hooray. His surrogate daughter. Oh, another protege, huh? Also like a surrogate daughter? I mean, they were banging though back in A Realm Reborn before we killed her. So Gaius has been a father figure for a lot of people, including Cid. wonder why they chose the Scala theme for this. Maybe because it's in the locks and seemed like Stormblood appropriate or something. It's unmistakably Stormblood music. Death would have been a kindness. In all my years, I'd never seen such a perversion of science and nature. Her body was fused with the ruby weapon's core. Those last moments must have been spent in pure agony as her very life's essence was drained from her. Oh yeah, it split open and a clone of Nail Van Darnus popped out, complete with Bahamut wings. Yep, that's pretty much what happened. Sort of, but not really. This is an interesting line, though. That's more or less how soul crystals work. Oh, I don't really got time to recuperate, buddy. I gotta go to the first to be a hero over there. Agreement? So his black mage buddy isn't really his buddy. Yep, he does. Have you not heard the rumors about what I did to Shinryu on top of the Almegan Palace? Meanwhile, in the Werelit Magitech installation. Told him the truth, huh? Those pesky Eorzeans. More Machina Fanatic, huh? Giant and mechanical, he can't help himself, huh? Virtual reality simulator, huh? This is how we unlock Ruby Weapon Extreme. But there's no reason for us to do it because it only gives I-485 weapons. We pretty much do not need those at all, so... Clyde's like, dude. Swing. Pretty cool music, man. Sleep Now in Sapphire. Synthetic Orosite System. Well, the core of the ultimate weapon was referred to as the Heart of Sabik by the Asians. We believe it to have been a type of Orosite. Yep, it was. In the Japanese, they didn't call it the Heart of Sabik, they called it Black Orosite. Sabik. So she wore that armor all the way into second coil, which would be why she had Bahamut wings and shit. That's some really good working armor. I mean, she transformed in the holodeck even, and we... that was intentional, I'm sure. My grasp of geography is surprisingly poor. Care to enlighten me? Oh, how about that? Top secret plan, huh? Sid is excited. Oh look, it's an instance battle. How about that? Well, I guess we can see what's up with that. I think we've got time for this. Maybe. Our own mecha, of course. Ironworks brand, huh? Adaptation of the Ultima Warrior. The G Warrior, huh? Yeah, straight out of Azzy's Law. This is the second boss in the Fractal Continuum hard mode, remember? Simulator, huh? Yep, you heard our crossbars change. We're about to, 600,000 HP, good lord. Why not? Oh, okay. My bad, my bad. They call the fuel bar EP, which is same as the ether points in Xenogears. Pyretic booster, huh? Look, we look like Xenos does when he powers up. Got it. Rely on it to carry me through the battle. Well, give me a target. Damage just way up. Ethereal Aegis, huh?